Hello, everyone. It's not Charlotte, it's Libby.
Well, I'm here as well.
Yeah, but okay, but I'm Libby and I'm talking and I'm real. And
Okay.
I exist.
Well, I exist as well. No, you go ahead, Libby. Say what you're going to say.
Hi, it's me, Libby, and Charlotte's here as well, but I'm talking to you right now about some very exciting news that we have, which is that if you want to watch this episode instead, you can now do that for free on YouTube. Now, come on, Charlotte. Come on. Now, she's making all kinds of horrible faces.
Well, I was just making a little treat for people who watch the video. You know?
And you think that was a treat, do you?
Yeah, it's pretty nasty stuff. But if you want to see what it is, you've got to go find the video on YouTube and watch it. And not only can you watch this episode on YouTube, but we've made a change. We've decided, the videos are just too good to keep in the bank anymore.
That's
right. And also, it's easier to find and share stuff on YouTube. So we're making the video episodes for the main feed available for free going forward. So if you want to see that, it's youtube.com/@whatsallthispod. You can find.
That's right. And if you're already watching the video, you might be like, yeah, I know, bitch, and other bitch, I'm already watching the video. Well, here's the thing, is we have some other exciting news, which is that for the video tier of the Patreon, the video tier is now the exclusive monthly live stream tier.
Whoa.
Where you got to be on the $9 tier to attend or watch the video on demand of our live stream sort of post-box-ish episodes where we answer questions, we watch videos, we talk to chat, we have a lovely time.
And we get our minges out.
No, we don't, and you can't even do that.
If you want to see our minges,
nope.
Then you just got to go subscribe to patreon.com/whatsallthis then to the special binge tier, which we will be. Now I've said it, we've got to make it, Libby.
No, we're not doing that, Charlotte. But we do have a coupon code for the non-minge tier, which is WATCH. So if you want to sign up to the what's it called? Watch all this then? Watch all this then.
The higher tier, which is $9 American a month, you can get 50% off your first month, and that will give you access to the video of all of the finest episodes and the new once a month live streams that we'll do just for you. So we've done a couple, and they were a lot of fun. So we hope you sign up to that. But now here's an episode of the podcast for real. So listen to that. Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye.
What's all this then? What's all this then? What's Mr. B? What's a cup of tea? What's mushy pea? What's the BBC? What's all this then?
Well, hello everybody and welcome to another episode of What's All This Then? It's a podcast about the UK with new episodes every Monday and bonus episodes every Thursday. And today on the show, our main topic is the absolute legend, the British action movie star, Jason Statham, who, by the way, I don't know if you guys knew this, but he's on Cameo.
What?
And so I might have purchased a little Cameo video from the Statham himself to start off the podcast today. You guys ready for this?
I'm more ready than I've ever been.
All right, here we go. Why are you guys laughing?
Nothing.
He
No
looks
reason.
so good.
He looks great, right? Okay, let's hear what he has to say.
It looks amazing.
All right, this is a message from Jason Statham. That's me, by the way. Heard you lot was doing a little podcast. What's all this then? Doing an episode about me, is it? Well, you better not make fun of my beautiful bald head, because I'm very sensitive about that. And if you do make fun of it, I'm going to come find you, and I'm going to shove a beehive up your asshole, and then shoot you in the face. Stath.
Yay! What do you guys think? Worth the $3,000 I spent on that?
Why is the skin tone so different?
The skin tone is so different. I need to know what. Look, we don't have to talk about it, but I am very curious what tool or magic you used to do that.
Well, I spent $3,000 on a cameo from Jason Statham. I guess he just looked a bit funny that day.
Yeah.
I need to say this, or else it's going to bug me. I'm Charlotte McDonald, and I'm joined as always by my wonderful co-host, the Hobbs to my shore. It's Libby Watson.
Okay, and Shore is the bad one, right? That's Jason Statham.
I'm sure I'm Jason Statham and you're The Rock. But I think he becomes good later in the Fast and Furious ones, right?
It's a while since I've seen it, but I believe that they introduced him as kind of a bad guy, and they were like, well, let's actually have him be a good guy for this weird spin-off-ish one that most people, I think, hate.
I think I saw it in the cinema, actually.
Okay.
Wow.
And I was like, I think I will rewatch that before recording this episode, and I made it through like 5 minutes of it, and I for the first time in a long time thought this is a waste of my time, even for like preparing for a Jason Statham episode of our podcast.
Now there is one Jason Statham movie that happened to me with in preparation for this podcast, but I will save it for later.
Okay,
when we talk about Jason Statham, so we can introduce our guest.
Let's real quick. I do want to go back to the cameo. If you would not watching the video, it was a Snapchat filter. It was a combination of 2 Snapchat filters. There is one that exists, which is just called Statham, where you can just like overlay his face over yours.
Okay.
That plus bold, plus the suit that I bought for a wedding pre-transition that has just been sort of sitting in my wardrobe for many years.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, it did kind of ruin my week. doing just sort of gender-wise. I feel a lot better today because I did my hair and stuff. But but it was worth it for the podcast. I mean, maybe we can make that into a reel or something. So
we basically have to. I think. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if I feel like our guest today might be a bit of a Stath head. I'm not sure. Well, he suggested the topic for today's episode, so hopefully he knows a thing or two about it. One of the hosts of the podcast, Boonta Vista. Welcome to the show, Andrew Law.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Hello.
G'day.
I really just did that thing that I hate when Americans do to me, where they just sort of repeat their accent back to the American.
Okay, but
so that's cool that I did that.
I think that there is something in particular about the R thing that is impossible not to imitate. The nar and halar. It's so. I mean, come on. It's so hard not to do that one.
I don't know,
right?
when I see it written out, I'm always like, that's not right. It's not how we sound.
Yeah. No, but it is.
No.
It's a little bit.
That's what I say.
Well,
no. Oh no.
Oh no.
That's how I sound.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and me as well.
Oh, I say.
Don't know. Okay, Charlotte. Before we started, I was pitching you some finest ideas. What about the "Oh I Say" episode?
Oh, I say.
Oh, I say.
Oh,
say.
Quite. Are we trying to sort of get each other to say "Oh, I say"? Is that sort of? I don't hate that. Can I pitch you one of the finest episode ideas I thought of?
Yes, please.
It's called the lying down episode, where we both have a nice lie down on our sofas and just bring the microphones over there, and we do have a nice episode lying down.
I think ideally camera positioned directly above you, like bird's eye view.
But
on your back
so much
on the
effort.
couch. Yeah.
Otherwise,
Otherwise, you're just kind of filming yourself from across the room.
Right.
Lying.
That's kind of what I like. That's what I like about the idea, though, is we're just far away.
That was my first question: is what do we do about the video element? And I think the only option would be either yes, we are just far away in the corner, or some sort of VTuber or PNG tuber type replacement for us, but the audio is us having a nice lie down.
I mean, it's just a finest episode, right?
Yeah, who fucking cares?
Who cares?
We don't try on those at all.
No, absolutely not. I mean, I really do like the idea of the fact that we are just lying on the floor completely out of shot the whole time. I think that would actually be really good.
I think maybe VTuber in the foreground.
Yes.
Brightly lit, having a really fun time. You're just kind of in the background in the corner, head cradled in your hand, talking into the microphone for the whole duration.
Right. It's just
and you say, "Hey, focus on the VTuber.
Don't look at me.
Don't look back here."
Okay, the "Don't Look at Me" episode. That's something too. I don't know what it is. We were talking about how
we are not running out of ideas. Everybody, do subscribe to the Patreon. More finest content coming soon. I mean, every week, right?
Episode 48. We're already at the "Don't Look at Me" episode.
Which means almost a year.
Yeah.
Really close to the 52. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a month off being a year.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Now, we said that Andrew suggested Jason Statham to us as a topic, but I think we should address the fact that what Andrew wanted to do and didn't know that we had just recorded this episode was Come Dine With Me, which we did with Ben from Boonta Vista.
Sorry.
And I immediately sent him some really vitriolic and abusive messages. I couldn't believe he would do that to me. Do
you think you're the bigger Come Dine With Me head?
Look, I don't know if I can say that. In all fairness, right. You know, we watch a bit of Come Dine With Me, and we had been explaining this to our kids. We've got 10 and 12-year-old daughters, and we had been explaining it to them, and we were like, yeah, let's watch some Come Dine With Me. Let's have a gaze at these freaks. And we put on like a recent episode because we have you know, we have all the streaming services you might expect, but we also have like the ABC, our equivalent of the BBC. And SBS, which is another publicly funded broadcaster. And the SBS has like an on-demand streaming app, and they have Come Dine With Me. But they have like really piecemeal seasons on it. It'll just be like, oh, we've got season 18 and season 12, and that's kind of it for the moment. And we put one on, and it was like much more recent, and there were people who could cook.
Oh, that's fucked up.
And
straight away, disappointing.
We're both turning to our children on the couch and going, "It's not like this. It's not usually like this. We don't know what they're doing right now. These people seem to be gainfully employed. They're talking to each other politely. We don't know what's happened to Come Dine With Me." Frantically trying to find a 10-year-old episode.
Yeah. You don't want to give your kids the impression that you'd be interested in watching people do something well.
No, I often do watch people cook properly on purpose. And I didn't want them to think that that's what this was.
That's what that was about.
The platonic Come Dine With Me situation is a series of people all cooking things for the very first time that they've never considered once in their lives.
Yeah. When it looks like they've almost never even like peeled the plastic lid off of a thing of chicken or whatever, you're like, yes, this is going to be great.
They immediately get out the smallest knife that anybody has ever seen and start trying to like cut up a pumpkin with it, you know?
Yes, the smallest, bluntest knife.
You should be very alarmed by everything they're doing with their hands, with the strange deficiency of utensils in their kitchen, you know?
Yeah. I still think about the guy who had a little like written out plan of everything that he had to do that was written by his girlfriend, and he had clearly never cooked before, and she just given him a whole list of stuff to do. It's really great. Well, I'm sorry that Ben Nick Come Dine With Me.
He stole that from me.
Yeah,
and I was thinking, what other iconic export of England do I have an almost unnerving fascination with?
Okay.
You know?
Good, because I don't think I really had thought deeply about Jason Statham at all until like the week leading up to this episode. No. He's just, I mean, we'll obviously talk more about him later because he's the main topic, but like he's just sort of always been there in the background, just sort of lingering. But I do have opinions now.
He truly just bounced off me like a raindrop off a bald head. He just, I'd never thought about him. Obviously I'd seen him. I would recognize him. I'd say, all right, that's Jason Statham. But I would never have thought to watch something with him. But we'll talk about him in a bit.
Andrew, what would you have rated Come Dine With Me on our supermarket-themed tier list scale?
Bonus rating.
Which I'm sure you remember off the top of your head.
Which supermarkets?
I'm bringing it up right now.
You could, if you want to. It's just S to what is it? S to
it's
F.
S to F. Yeah, but
basically.
This is the list.
Yeah.
I guess it kind of depends on what it is that you're getting out of it, which is also something that's going to come up when we talk about Jason Statham.
For sure.
Which is the levels on which you are enjoying something. Is because the Come Dine With Me that I'm used to is everybody is ill-prepared. They've never done this before. They seem bizarrely self-confident, but they're turning out like, again, the ideal Come Dine With Me dish is someone who's making something they've never made before, and then they're spooning what looks for all the world like hot diarrhea onto a plate. There's way too much water coming off the dish. You know, the plate they're putting it on 30 centimeters too wide on every side.
Yep. The one I was watching recently, because it's been like fed to me on just YouTube recommendations, just like full episodes, which has been fun. the guy who he'd never made any of the dishes before. He was making some kind of like lemon mousse thing, and he was just sort of blagging the measurements completely, and the lemon separated completely from the mousse, and it was all on the bottom. And he tried to be like, oh yeah, no, that's sort of that's the special lemony layer, and no one bought it, but I think he still won the episode because that's
crazy.
That's Come Dine With Me.
And you're the best of
he was
that.
just charming.
Look, I think for me, Come Dine With Me is kind of a Sainsbury's in the sense that I like. It's more than the sum of its parts. You know what I mean? If you just said to someone, would you like to watch someone inept with a weird personality make food that's not good, that the people they're serving it to don't enjoy, and then everyone will leave and say, that was shit. You'd go, what for though? What am I getting out of that? And it turns out there's a lot to get out of it. You know, you will be surprised by some of the revelations of human nature, you know, of the things self-confidence can do for a person. You know?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think it's better than it ought to be, for what it is.
Better than it has any right to be, you know. And of course it is I think it's a fascinating little anthropological view of British people and what their houses look like. And
Actually, honestly,
sometimes what their pants look like as well.
Yeah.
'Cause sometimes they're just like, we're gonna go upstairs and look at their knickers now, and it's like, what? What do you mean you're gonna do that on television? And they've said you can do that? What?
They've said just fish around in there. That's fine.
Yeah, just pull whatever you want out of the cupboards.
I genuinely did put one on the other day, and I was like, I'm going to watch this while I eat my dinner. And then I got a glimpse into a particularly like grim-looking British house, and I was like, I'm not going to be able to enjoy my dinner if I watch this. So I put on the new 28 Years Later instead.
Oh, wow.
Because I was like, I can handle watching people get their skin torn off and shit, but I just don't want to have to look at how grimy that sofa is.
Oh, there's just like, I think it's we went to Melbourne last weekend for a friend's 40th, and saw a whole bunch of people we hadn't seen in like 15 years, and we went, look how old we all are. But like when you're in Melbourne, a lot of the houses, particularly in towards the middle of the city, are older. A lot of them are like, you know, up to and over 100 years old, kind of either weatherboard houses or like brick terrace houses and stuff. And so you're paying for the location a lot of the time. Sure. I keep finding myself looking at these houses and thinking, even when people have like done a bunch of renovations and all these things, I am still hit with the sense of this house was designed so long ago that it was designed for people living in houses the way that we just don't really live in houses anymore. In the same way that if you were to live in a house that was maybe designed in like the 1970s, there will often be a kitchen that's sort of completely segregated from the rest of the home with like doors that close and everything. So if you're having a dinner party or something, you say, "Oh, interesting. Anyway, goodbye for 30 minutes," and go and close yourself into a room. So people have to kind of, you know, do renovations to try and open plan that stuff a bit. You can't really do that with these older houses, and that's how a lot of those British houses make me feel. Where it's like the very, very stereotypical. You come in through the front door, there's immediately stairs going up.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yes, of course.
So weird.
The house is like quite skinny with a few rooms coming off it, but you also get this overwhelming sense of like, why did anyone think of allowing any light to come in to this home?
No.
You know? Particularly, I guess, the ones that are built on what's it called when there's like a big long row of them and they're all
like
they're all attached
house?
to it. Yeah, terrace houses where they're all attached to each other. And there's like two whole faces of the house where there's no possibility of any light coming in.
Yep.
And so the whole core of the house is just this gloomy and quite compressed space, and just seeing a whole country of people living in there, like it's totally fine. Like that's normal.
And it's wet as well.
Yeah, it's really damp. Yeah.
The inside of the house is not just damp, but actively wet sometimes.
Yeah, like run your finger down the wall. Yeah. That kind of moisture coming off the brick.
Yep. It seems like a sort of non-negotiable part of having a house in the UK. I'm sure ones that have been built since, you know, maybe in the last like literally 10 or 20 years, they've maybe figured it out. But like thinking about like the houses that my friends lived in at uni and stuff, and you're absolutely right. They were just, it was just a couple steps up from living where Gollum lives, I think. Just so dark and a really, like you say, Charlotte, old grimy sofa that smells, and there's wet coming from everywhere. Oh, it's just
at some point in the past, somebody smoked in this house every day for 30 years. You know? And like, I don't know. When people moved out of the caves, you didn't have to recreate the cave. To go and live in, but also I think the other thing you get from Come Dine With Me as an anthropological thing is sometimes the people who are going to other people's houses, clearly they've thought to themselves, I'm going to dress up nice. And then you get to see what their idea of dress up nice is.
Yes. I've got to go and watch some of this new stuff now because, like,
I'm curious too.
I'm wondering if, like, I mean, obviously social media has ruined our lives, has it not, guys? Has it
Agreed.
not? Thank you for agreeing. No, Libby's fine with it.
Fine.
Libby's good. I'm wondering if people are just like, they're better because so much of the joy of Come Dine With Me is like people want to present themselves in a good light, but they don't know how to, and it's so much fun to watch them try to and fail. And I think people are maybe just better at doing that now.
Okay, I think about this all the time with British food, about how, like, okay, yeah, obviously British food is a little bit better because, like, British chefs can follow chefs from New York on Instagram and they can read Bon Appetit and stuff. Yep. So they can find out about, like, it's actually good when you use salt in things.
Yes. No, yeah, and you can use, like, a lot of it as well, and that's fine. And that actually makes it taste good.
So much. Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah. It took me so long to figure out how much salt you're supposed to put in pasta, in the water for your pasta.
It's every single time it feels like an insane amount.
Just dumping, just a big.
just putting my fingers in the salt bowl and just sort of like, you know, getting a claw of salt and then doing that a couple times. It feels insane.
That's why every time I'm watching a chef, you know, a proper chef making something, and they say something like, it really makes you rethink written recipes because they say,
"Oh my god, yes!
I'll put a glug of olive oil in here," and then they go,
yep.
Or they say put a tablespoon or two in this thing, and then they go, and they put in what is clearly like a quarter to half a cup of the thing they're talking
100%.
about. And often it's like it's butter, it's salt, it's oil, it's all like the really fatty things,
honey,
and it makes you go, oh, that's why it tastes really good when you make it like that.
Yeah,
but the other thing the other thing I keep learning from chefs over and over is that, like, fat is like the carrier of flavor in your mouth when you have something like, you know, I don't know, like a short rib thing or something, and there's a lot of fat that's rendered out of the thing, and it's through the dish, and that coats the inside of your mouth and lets your mouth your tongue pick up all those, like, all the salt. Everything just gets absorbed right in.
This is making me so hungry.
Yeah, this sounds delicious. Just thinking about fat in my mouth right now.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah. I mean, I had dinner, but.
Yeah, I'm thinking about sucking a bunch of beef fat out of my stew and enjoying it greatly.
I'm thinking about just eating the fat cap off a lamb chop.
Yes,
you know?
Yes, absolutely. Just going to town on that
crispy?
bad boy.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I happen to know that you're a very good cook, and I'm curious if you ever make anything sort of British.
Yeah, I think definitely. What am I thinking of? Would it be like I like a mushy pea kind of thing.
Okay,
I like a pea
I
puree
was not
kind of
expecting
deal.
that at all.
Like a pie and peas and gravy and that whole sort of thing. My mum is from Liverpool.
Oh.
So my whole family on her side. It's all English. They moved to Australia when she was about 14, I think. And so, yeah, I just have memories of my grandmother from Liverpool eating things like a meat pie between two slices of bread, kind of stuff.
The Wigan kebab.
The Wigan kebab,
yep.
Yes.
Yep. So there's nothing you can't put between two slices of white bread.
I really do believe that.
I literally do. I grew up eating crisp sandwiches, sugar sandwiges was something I ate as a kid. Yeah. Chip
That's
butty.
right.
Yeah. A lot of things on bread.
Which is all good
I don't
stuff.
think I've ever had a sugar sandwich before.
No, it's an insane thing to do. Well, it's a very Australian thing to do. Fairy bread.
Yeah. Fairy bread. You got your margarine. You got your hundreds and thousands all over there, and then that's kind of it.
Yes, I think it's also a Dutch thing. I want to say, like in the Netherlands.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
That wouldn't shock me. I think I recently realized that I thought that jaffles were British. I thought that a jaffle.
I have to look up what a jaffle is.
I'm immediately googling jaffle.
Jaffle.
In Australia, it's very common to get a jaffle iron. So you can get an electric jaffle iron, like a sandwich press kind of thing. I did just buy. We're going camping on Easter weekend,
lovely.
and I did just buy like a cast iron jaffle iron to use on the fire. Because that'll be fun. But yeah, I think I just always assumed that was of British origin or potentially South African, maybe.
Yeah,
because we've got that whole population over in Perth, which we try to keep as far away as we can. But no, I learned very recently that it was an entirely Australian invention. And there was me.
This is when I'm looking at an image of some jaffles now.
Okay.
Because not knowing what it was, so it is like a sandwich, and then it's sort of like the press is like encasing the insides, right?
It's essentially it's essentially like a sandwich press that has like a scalloped shape that crimps the edges of the sandwich closed and cuts it in half on a diagonal. So anything you might want to fill a sandwich with, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can put some pizza sauce and cheese in there. If you've got like leftover meat sauce from your bolognese and you want to throw that in there for a little breakfast sandwich, it is very traditional to have your like Heinz baked beans in there.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
A baked bean and cheese jaffle is just such a beautiful thing. You can burn the living fuck out of yourself with the contents of a jaffle if you are too excited. But in the picture here, we also see the Heinz like tinned spaghetti.
Yes.
So is that normal? Because that's the reason I wanted to look at this picture together, because I was like, why is there spaghetti in a jaffle?
That's pretty normal here too. I gather that the tinned spaghetti is mainly a kind of British Australian thing. I don't think a lot, because yes, you can get all kinds of like tinned products, and I'm sure there are tinned spaghetti and meatball things that are trying to actually kind of be, but this is essentially long SpaghettiOs. For any Americans in the crowd, this is basically just, it's the same taste, the same sauce, the same texture of that very soft spaghetti stuff itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The
very,
melt in your mouth
slippery
kind of pasta.
Yeah. It's a little past al dente,
Okay, this makes sense because our mutual friend Demi has talked to me about her what she calls her pie maker. She has like an electric, like, because I make pies a lot, but they're like, American style big pie, usually full of something sweet.
Yep.
But she makes these little pies with beef stew in them that are really, really good, but they're tiny. And she has a specific like appliance for making.
She made them for us when she came to our house.
There you go. Of course she did, because she loves to do that.
I also have a pie maker. I have a 4-pie
pie
maker.
Blew my fucking mind. This is giving jaffle to me.
It's giving jaffle.
Pie maker is giving jaffle.
My British
This is
grandmother.
the first AI generated episode of by the way.
Pie maker is giving jaffle. Yeah. My British grandmother used to love using a pie maker and just pumping out heaps of pies, like heaps of meat pies, sort of thing. You can freeze them as well, but I inherited the one that I've got from, which is a relatively new appliance. It's just a non-stick thing, has 4 pie cavities in it, and it comes with like a 2-sided cutter for you to just cut the correctly sized shapes out of your sheets of like puff or short crust pastry.
Yeah.
And then, like, I think last weekend or something, my wife made a pot roast for dinner because we were like, what's that all about?
Yum.
Let's have like a beef stew kind of thing with chuck. We had that, and then the next night, I repurposed that into filling for pies for everyone, which was very nice. But my mum offloaded this pie maker onto me because she had bought it. She had superseded it with a better pie maker.
Oh, of course, the classic.
And so this one has like, it's more like the American, like a hand pie type thing. So like the American, the shape of like a McDonald's apple pie, where it's a long rectangle. But the reason this one is superior, I think, is because it has like 4 rectangular pies in the thing, and you can just place an entire sheet of pastry down.
Oh, that's so clever.
And fill all the things, and then put another sheet of pastry over the top and close the thing. Whereas with the circular one, I feel like I got all this waste. I got all this waste. I'm cutting off the sheets. I had to roll that out into another sheet and then make a pie out of that.
Yeah. And then the recipe always says, do not re-roll scraps. And I'm like, I'm like, first of all, you're not my mum. Second of all, I'm going to re-roll the scraps. What are you going to do about it? Oh, no. Now I'm going to have a cookie or a pie that's like 20% worse, or not even 20%, 5% worse than the other ones. I think it's fine, you know?
It's fine.
It's probably fine.
Yeah.
Let's do British Thought of the Week, shall we? It's British Thought of the Week.
Tea's quite nice. What happened to Noel Edmonds? EastEnders. Bloody raining again. How do they make Scotch eggs? Did they finish Brexit or what?
British Thought of the Week.
Libby, every time it's your turn to do British Thought of the Week, you say, "That's right, Charlotte. It's time for British Thought of the Week." And that was my urge there, was the same. That's right, Charlotte. That's right, Charlotte. It's time for British Thought of the Week.
You can say whatever you want. It's our podcast.
Yeah,
I think one of the best things I ate in London was a Scotch egg.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Went to like a gastro pub, got a Scotch egg.
Makes total sense. Yeah.
I'm familiar with them often from like gas stations.
Motorway service station Scotch egg. Yeah.
Oh.
The median Scotch egg is definitely one of the worst things you can eat, but the good one, I'm sure.
A fancy one. Yeah.
No idea. No, this was like, I think the meat surrounding the egg was real and from an animal, you know?
Oh, cool. So that's always nice.
I don't know what
I've heard.
This kind of, we definitely have the kind of almost a food products that you would get at like the fish and chip shop kind of thing.
The battered sausage.
Very similar to the stuff you guys would be getting from a chippy, from a from a shit in a tray merchant, as Mike Skinner of the Streets called it, who I saw a week or two ago at the Sydney Opera House.
Wow, look at that!
Went and saw that as my elder millennial pilgrimage.
You old fuck.
There you go. Well, today's British Thought is nothing to do with food, but it is about the thing you use to get the food, because we're talking about money. We're talking about money. I'll read out what I wrote down as the British Thought. Which is more woke? Winston Churchill or a beaver? You guys want to weigh in on that before I get into this?
It depends on the particular beaver, I suppose. It depends on how racist the beaver is.
I don't think I've ever met a racist beaver, personally.
It's beavers because they're like extremely good for the environments that they operate in. They do all of this great like sort of environmental terraforming, and they provide a great like ecosystem and habitat for all these other species to thrive in. They care about the environment. They're woke. They're woke beavers.
Also, the little thing in their assholes tastes like raspberries.
Ooh.
Isn't that nice?
I should have been tonguing beavers this whole time.
Charlotte, I'm going to need you to explain that thoroughly.
And this is not the thought. There is a chemical that is inside a gland in beavers, which I believe is in their rear side, and it's part of the reason that their numbers declined as well. I think they were hunted for I forget the name of it, but it was originally used as the artificial sort of like raspberry flavor. It came from inside of beavers. Yeah.
The artificial raspberry flavor came from
and they don't
a
do it
beaver's
anymore.
ass.
But yeah, originally that's where that flavor came from.
From a beaver's ass.
From a beaver's ass. Yeah, that's right.
I think here's what happened. I think you've placed a bet before this episode with someone, maybe one of our former guests, maybe it was Demi, honestly, that you could get some fucking ridiculous made up bullshit past me. And I'm calling you out.
Oh, okay. Well, get ready to seem like a chump when this episode comes out, because that's
and
real.
everybody writes in and they say, everyone knows this about beavers' asses taking on raspberries. Yeah, right.
Something that is not real, well, not entirely real though, is this thing that Nigel Farage said in this TikTok I'm going to show you,
God,
which is called
fucking twat.
I know, sorry to have to play this video of him, but the video is called "This is the definition of woke." So I'll let Nigel sort of explain what's going on with today's British thought.
Are great British banknotes produced by the Bank of England, and they have on them giant figures like Winston Churchill, and yet they're proposing we replace people like him with a picture of a beaver. No, I'm not making it up. This is actually what they're proposing. This is how PC mad and loony everyone's gone, including the Bank of England. I think it's absolutely crackers.
Twat.
But I want to know, please, what do you think?
Well, I think you're a fascist cunt, don't I, Nigel? that's what I think.
I hate looking at him so much.
It's a really
Andrew, I have to
narrow
assume you're
definition
familiar
of
with-
woke.
Yeah.
Actually,
I have to assume Go ahead.
Yeah, I am familiar with Nigel Farage, and when I saw him then, I chose to retreat to my mind palace and replay that footage of him coming out of that car crash. Was it a car crash?
Plane crash.
Helicopter. Yeah,
Helicopter,
plane
you.
crash. That's right. Which we talked about on a recent Finest episode.
We did.
As
Yeah,
well.
Stefan independently brought that up.
Yes.
Him staggering around covered in blood. That's the way I want to see Nigel Farage.
100, yeah. He looks completely just, fucked in that photo. He
And
looks
he's just-
absolutely destroyed, and he was.
He's pumping out his cameos, and it's just a real Laura Loomer way to live.
Do you see the cameos, Libby?
No.
No? That's the big Nigel Farage news story, at least at time of recording, is he recorded a bunch of cameos and said a bunch of like right-wing shit as he would, but sort of far-right neo-Nazi stuff. But my favorite one is the one where he's in the middle of doing a cameo, and then he's interrupted by his like phone alarm or something.
Yeah.
And then he just is like, "You cunt!" And then that's the whole thing.
That is so good.
But yeah, he was talking about this thing that is happening in the UK, which is that they the Bank of England is going to be replacing the historical figures on the banknotes with British wildlife instead. The story about like Winston Churchill is going to be replaced by a beaver.
Yeah.
That is the thing that, as far as I can tell, I think he is ground zero for that.
Wow.
Because currently the Bank of England has not decided what wildlife they want to put. They basically just said we're going to put nature on instead of historical figures. And he was the one who was like, "Oh yeah, it's going to be a beaver instead of Winston Churchill." Therefore, outrage.
I didn't know you guys had beavers.
Yeah, I guess
we
so.
do.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily know we had that many of them, but we do apparently.
Yeah, because I know Europeans went to America and then were like, "Oh, they've got quite a lot of beavers here. I suppose we'll just kill all of those, maybe."
Maybe.
I kind of thought, yeah, exactly, absolutely. I thought perhaps we'd run out of beavers to kill in the UK, and that's why they had to come to America and start killing all the American beavers. But maybe the American beavers have better coats, or maybe they're even more raspberry-ish. I don't know.
Yeah, possibly. But I did
Tasting
find
a
a video
beaver's
from
arsehole in America and going, whoa! Whoa!
The food is so much better here.
Man, every beaver's arse I ate in England tasted like shit. These ones. Wow.
They don't know how to season a beaver's arse in England. Yeah, they don't put any spices in it.
I want to show you another terrible video, if that's okay.
Okay, can we describe these two people?
Yes, so this is a video from Politics Joe. I do want to explain just a little bit of what this is, because this is from Politics Joe, which I know nothing about other than I don't like the name of it. So this was them interviewing Brits who were on holiday in Spain about the beavers replacing Winston Churchill. Go ahead and describe this couple. We're just going to hear from the man on the right.
Andrew, why don't you take this one?
Well, on the right, we have a gentleman with short hair, a little bit of salt and pepper scruff on the chin. Classic red British face.
Yes. Tomato-like.
He's wearing a shirt that looks like he's supporting a cricket team full of dead British soldiers. It's like a white cricket shirt with a huge sort of like Union Jack cutout in the shape of a soldier's head wearing a helmet. Union Jack on the sleeve. Very oversized kind of logo on the breast saying lest we forget. With a silhouette of a soldier with a gun and a poppy that's bigger than the soldier's head, just to make sure that you are not going to miss this poppy at all.
Yes.
Or forget it, lest you forget it.
Yes. I would describe this as an airport shirt. This is a shirt that you would see on someone at the airport and go, oh, for fuck's sake, this is what most people are like, isn't it? Because whenever I go to the airport, I see so many new varieties of American flag shirts, I support our troops shirts, like acrostics that it'll say like troops, TROOPS, and it'll be like the really awesome O spelt with an O, and then some other things that are troops. I couldn't finish it.
Perfectly landed.
Yeah, thank you so much. Anyway, it's an airport shirt.
And let's hear what this guy has to say about beavers.
We've seen the news, but they're removing Winston Churchill from the banknotes. They're in place. What did you make of that when you saw it?
That's rubbish. It's all going woke, innit?
Yeah. Why is it rubbish?
This is all going woke. There's no need for it. So I mean, it's an important part of our history, and they should be taken off.
I mean, just on that you said important part of history, just about Churchill. I mean, what does he mean to you, Winston Churchill?
Well, he was significant in us in the World War, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That's right.
A fellow student of history.
Actually, yeah, I think I remember this guy from my history seminars at Warwick. Yeah.
All right, we're looking at 3 British blokes. So this is the second one to hear from. This is the most depressing of the 3.
You are erasing history by doing stuff like that. Why is it got to be erased? It's our culture. At the end of the day, Britain was Britain. It's not no more.
Why is it not anymore?
It's gone woke.
Without sounding racist, we're a minority. I think.
Again, we're talking about Winston Churchill being replaced by British wildlife on money here.
Yeah.
Which, to be clear, he was, whatever the case, even if he was going to be replaced by a different historical figure, he was always going to be on the £5 note for like 10 years before they replaced it. That is just like the way
how money works.
It's literally just how money works. They need to change the designs in order to help to prevent forgery. So, and in fact, Winston Churchill's just granddaughter was interviewed by the BBC about this, and she was like, "Yeah, it's fine. It was nice to see Granddad on the money, but we always knew they were going to change it after 10 years. So whatever."
That's what they do.
God.
Let's hear from this last guy who is my favourite.
Oh, awesome.
I think times move on. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, he was a great bloke in the 40s or whatever, but I think, you know what I mean, they've changed the Queen, but obviously for a reason, and he's on.
Obviously for a reason.
As long as it's spendable. Yeah, is it all right?
As long as it's spendable.
As long as it's, I love him so much.
Hey, what? I mean, unironically, what a legend. Ending it with, is that all right?
Is that all right?
My one question, will it remain like tender? Will it remain legal tender?
Yes, exactly.
It's still going to be money, right? We're not replacing it with beavers and then we're just turning it into comics. Like, that's still money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it spendable? And they got rid of the Queen, obviously, for a reason.
For a reason.
And now he's on it.
God.
Don't know what the reason is, but I liked that each of those people kind of had a different perspective. The first was, it's gone woke. The second was, I am being white genocided.
Yes.
And the third was, fine as long as it's still money.
Yes.
And I liked that they all had a perspective with absolutely no facts arming them.
Nothing.
Behind that very shallow perspective.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm sure that if I was ambushed in a man on the street interview, I wouldn't be as articulate as, for example, I am on this podcast, where I'm perfectly able to finish each sentence. But I like to think that I would come up with something more for what Churchill did than, well, he was important in the 40s.
Yeah.
For the World War.
Weren't he?
In the World War.
Weren't he, right? Yeah.
In the Great War.
One?
We've only done one, right? I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
he
pretty sure
was
it was
important in the war.
No.
Looking for confirmation.
Yeah.
Looking for a head nod or a head shake from the guy with the microphone.
Is that all right? Is that all right?
Yeah. I liked him when he was in the Beatles Rolling Stones.
So a couple of important things that everybody needs to know about this situation. The public did vote on this. So when Nigel is like, we didn't get to pick, there were 44,000 responses to the Bank of England.
Holy shit.
Basically who proposed like a bunch of different categories.
Yeah.
And nature won with 60% of people picking that. Notable historical figures was on that list, and that one came in at 38%. So not enough. So this is just what the people wanted. At the end of the day.
Yeah, they wanted to see a fucking beaver.
They wanted to see a beaver or a nice fox or a little bird or something instead of Winston Churchill. Another thing that's important to note is that during this sort of like the sensationalized story, the focus has always been on Winston Churchill and not on the other people who are currently on the money.
No,
which is Jane Austen, the artist J.M.W. Turner, who's a watercolorist, and then Alan Turing. So it makes sense that Nigel Farage
very woke.
Yeah. Yes.
To be fair.
Very, very woke. And they might actually be really cross if they find out how woke the money already was.
Yes. No, absolutely.
I was going to say, I don't feel like British society is particularly starved of like opportunities to see and hear about Churchill. You know?
Yes.
I just saw a trailer for a movie with what's that guy's name? Andrew Scott, maybe?
Yeah.
The guy from Fleabag.
Yeah.
So a trailer for a new movie coming out and it was about like World War II and the Normandy landing and the unrevealed true story of the meteorologist who did the weather forecast for that day.
No, come on.
Yeah. And they're
Holy
like,
shit.
this incredibly important thing. But I couldn't help but get the prevailing sense of how close are we to having told all of the stories?
All of the stories, right? Yeah.
Of important things that happened during World War II and all the people who contributed and made a difference and everything. It's like, maybe we kind of need this World War III. We need it for some new stories, you know?
Yeah,
I'm already bored of the Iraq and Afghanistan ones.
Yeah.
We've done all of them. And plus enough time has passed where everybody goes, well, shouldn't have been doing that. I mean, obviously a lot of people in the first place were saying, hey, don't do that.
Right.
But American society at large was like, yeah, do that.
Yeah,
and then we needed our 20 years to go, ooh, actually, the war crimes? Ooh. And we've been telling our stories, and now when a new one comes out, like there was that, there was like an A24, you know, how it made me feel sad to fight in Iraq as an American movie, and everyone went, no, thumbs down.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels like maybe the wells run dry on telling the stories of our various wars. Maybe we need to get a little pro-war if we want more interesting movies that aren't just about meteorologists. That's all I'm saying.
We need some new wars for the movies, is what you're saying. Because we've run out of war stories.
I have great news about some stuff that's happening right now.
I mean, look, we've certainly run out of World War II movies and stories. And yes, you are 100% right. It is like inescapable in Britain. The Churchill. The end of that sentence in my head was the Churchill mind virus, so I'm going to stick with that.
Okay.
The Churchill mind virus has infected every British man.
I think that the minute he comes off of the money, which he was only on for 10 years, everyone is going to forget that he exists.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ultimately.
Yeah, all these kids being like, oh, who's this? I don't recognize him from Fortnite.
Yeah.
Winston Churchill in Fortnite, though? I mean, that could go pretty crazy.
Yeah, that would have, yeah.
Who's this fat old geezer?
Yeah,
They make him really buff for Fortnite.
like Peter Griffin.
Yes, exactly.
Who's this fat old geezer? I want Bonnie Blue on my 10p note.
Yeah. Are we just looking at animals now?
I wanted to end this segment because the Bank of England is going to have another vote once they have like a short list of the wildlife that they're going to put on the money. And so I just thought for a second we could say, what would your vote be if we're going to put some animals on the money? At this point, I feel like it has to be a beaver. Like I want it to be a beaver, even though that was made up by Farage, as far as I can tell.
As a repudiation of Farage, yes, I agree.
The beaver has become more woke now, but I really do feel like a badger
all the way.
Really important that we get one of those on.
God, they are so cool.
They're so lovely.
I know.
Unless they're not for some reason, unless they did something bad in the war.
Unless badgers aren't woke.
Unless badgers aren't woke for some reason.
Oh no,
but
Charlotte
people
doesn't
who
know
are real
about badger posts.
People who are real hung up on the it's gone woke stuff. You can just be like, Wind in the Willows characters. It's harkening back to our
true.
History
I was truly,
of literature. You know. There's no
I was
beaver
just thinking
in Wind
it
in the
should
Willows.
just be the Wind in the Willows gang. Like I want Toad on there for sure.
Frog, Badger, whoever else they have.
Yeah, I actually don't know who is in Wind in the Willows except for Mr. Toad.
Mr. Toad, Badger.
You guys need like an Avengers style movie with Frog and Toad and Paddington and
oh shit. Yeah, Sooty and
Get them all
Sweet.
in there.
Yeah.
Fucking Peter Rabbit.
crazy.
Peter Rabbit with James Corden's voice. Get him in there. Fuck.
I would really like a fox on there as well, I think, on the money. Because just like living in the UK in the past and being reminded of them, like hearing them like having sex and all of the ways that they would be so good at finding any leftover meat in the trash bag outside as well.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm looking forward to Charlotte's furry arc.
It's coming.
It's coming.
I did see that Peter Rabbit movie because my kids were at the age where you just had to find more kids movies to watch, you know.
Sure.
And I did enjoy, despite the presence of James Corden's voice, at least I didn't have to look at his face. But
that's very noble of you, honestly. That just shows what a good dad you are to find your way to enjoying that.
But no, well, the enjoyable thing was that Domhnall Gleeson's in it. As like
nice.
What's the farmer's name? Farmer that Peter
Farmer
Rabbit's always
Cunt?
fucking with.
Yeah.
Farmer Willows, probably.
Maybe.
Right.
But he inherits his old dad's farm and becomes a farmer. He's like a city boy, becomes a farmer, and is slowly driven to like murderous madness by
that's fun.
by Peter Rabbit. So at the start of the movie, he's just a nice guy trying to be nice. Rose Byrne's his neighbor. And, And by the end of the movie, he's like, I'll fucking kill that rabbit. I want that fucking rabbit. I want that fucking rabbit dead. I want his family dead, you know?
So almost, Charlotte, as if he could have been played by Jason Statham.
It's time for the main topic. I did a little pause there. You will have just heard an ad if you didn't pay for the episode or something. It's time to talk about our main topic, which is the actor Jason Statham. Andrew, you were, mentioning that this is possibly an important character in media to you. What is your relationship with the Stath? Also, can I call him the Stath? Is that
Sure.
normal? Is that correct?
As long as he doesn't hear, I don't know. I think it's fine. He's one of those interesting figures of action film history to me. I think I'm also just the right age for him to have sort of emerged in the Guy Ritchie movies. Lock, Stock and Snatch, which were big deals in British filmmaking. They were like a little resurgence of like some British crime stuff. Like his background as well is he was a diver. He was on the national diving team in the UK. You can find footage of him doing sick high dives.
He's pretty good at diving. I was watching some footage of him. Now my understanding is that he was pretty good, but not like quite good enough to get Olympic level, right?
Yep.
I watched one dive that he did where he didn't. It was like a little bit of belly touching the water, and you were like, "Oh man, you did such good flips, but you couldn't quite just like get all the way."
Until then, diving is one of those sports that will have you criticizing professional athletes in a way that if you took a step back for a second, you would think, sound fucking insane right now.
Yes.
His belly touched the water a little bit. And I mean, obviously, I would be too scared to even jump off it because it's too high. But
too scared to really
all the
even
same,
be in a pool. Yeah.
All the same, I know when he didn't do it right. So
you did
shame on you.
You did 2 flips off a 5 or 10 meter high board, and there was a little splash in the pool afterwards. You fucking idiot! Failure.
It's at least do a big splash, right? That's what we're all here to see.
That's right. But he is an athlete. He was a model as well.
Yeah.
Back in the day, which is also like kind of surprising, I guess.
Yeah, I understand.
He's obviously always been very fit. You know.
Yeah. I'd need to see pics of peak Statham, you know? I'd need to see some modeling era pics. But I can certainly see at least competing with other British people.
My understanding is he was picked in part because he's very handsome, but he also has the sort of regular guy look. So that was like a reason for him to be included in the modeling world, which he did for a little bit. And then he just sold jewelry on the streets as well, right? That was a big thing, is he did that, and then that was sort of part of the reason that he got the role in Lock, Stock. Is because he plays that same character in it. Yeah,
that's exactly what he's doing at the start of Lock, Stock. And he's doing a pretty good job as an actor.
I've got some old photos of him modeling for the brand Timberland.
Oh.
There's photos of him from his diving career looking very smooth, very slick.
It is funny how smooth swimmers have to be. That
More
is so
hair
funny
back
that
then.
makes a difference.
Ironically, if he had no hair, it would have been better.
Well, maybe that's why his tummy touched the water, is because he had hair.
He had hair at the time. Yeah, that's right. Poor thing.
Yeah.
But I've had like a long-standing fascination with like Steven Seagal, the actor.
Oh,
Steven
yeah,
Seagal.
of course.
Like partly because I don't understand what anybody else could possibly see in this man as like an action star, all that sort of stuff. By all accounts of every film set he's ever been on, just a complete piece of shit and a bully and and a massive ego and all that sort of stuff, along with being completely full of shit about his own history, what he does martial arts wise, all that kind of thing. But I guess like part of what's fascinating to me about Seagal as like an analog to Statham is that there's obviously some level of self-realization happening where people get cast in these roles, or they go into movies and they go, yeah, that kind of is what I'm like. Right? and then they either start to kind of carry themselves like that in real life a bit, or they start to get typecast into those roles, and they eventually kind of develop into this like calcified version of that role where they're just playing these small variations on it as they go on, like has happened to so many of the stars of yesteryear, like Denzel Washington and Liam Neeson, where they sort of hit a point in their career where they were like, I'm done with the whole like trying. I'm done with trying with acting and emotions and stuff. I'm just going to kind of do movies where I look really cool. And I effortlessly disarm and kill lots of people.
You know who I was thinking of when I was watching? So I watched 3 Jason Statham movies in preparation for this podcast. I watched Lock, Stock, I watched Snatch, and then I watched The Beekeeper. On Pat's recommendation.
God, The Beekeeper is incredible.
It's unbelievable. We'll talk about it. But while you were describing this phenomenon where someone gets sort of typecast, but with sort of their own consent because it kind of makes them feel good, I was thinking of when we discussed Gordon Ramsay with Brendan. because that is kind of what Gordon Ramsay did in America as well. He had the thing on Kitchen Nightmares in the UK where he was like the big shouty twat or whatever, but it was much more.
If you go back and watch the British stuff,
yes,
he's actually like, you can watch a bunch. You can watch a bunch of the American stuff, and it's very dialed up. You go back, if you watch the American stuff first, and then go back and watch the British stuff. He seems like positively considered and thoughtful.
Yep.
Yes.
And like he cares about helping people get their shit together. You know, and about food and everything. He doesn't just go in there like, guns blazing or anything. He goes in there seeking to work with the person. And it's really only if it gets to a point where somebody is either insisting that their shitty way of doing things is just fine, that he sort of seems to boil over. Or like, if they're doing a service and it's going absolutely terribly. But,
There's some of the sort of exaggeration, but it's not anywhere near like you say, the sort of the typecast thing that he has in the US Kitchen Nightmares and everything he's done since, basically, where he's the shouty one who says, shove it up your fucking flaps or whatever.
Yeah.
And Statham is kind of doing the same thing, where he has if he's in a movie now, he's playing the Jason Statham character to the extent that in The Beekeeper, for example, for some fucking reason, like they have him trying to do a little bit of an American accent. Did you catch this, Charlotte?
So he's kind of half-assing this accent, and they have to have someone address it in the script.
Yes.
This happens in more than one of his late period films.
I was going to say, because I watched The Beekeeper and then I also watched The Transporter. And throughout The Transporter, I was also unsure if at any point he was trying to do... they don't acknowledge it. They sort of say, you're foreign. But he's in France at the time.
Yep.
But it's like maybe he's doing like a little bit of that, but never sort of like trying hard enough to sort of nail it. I sort of feel like he just sort of watching interviews and stuff with him and learning about him. He seems not particularly like confrontational. He's just like a working guy who just is going to show up to the movie set and do his job. That's sort of like the vibe he gives off. So I wonder if they ask him to do an accent and he's like, yeah, I'll try.
There is a movie from earlier in his career. It's probably just before the Transporter series. It's probably just before the Transporter series, where he was in a movie called The One with Jet Li, and this was really like a kind of precursor to all of the multiverse movies that we now have.
Yeah,
through Everything Everywhere All at Once and all the Marvel movies and all of that shit. So this was a movie starring Jet Li about someone who has found the ability to kind of like travel through all these alternate dimensions, and he's assassinating all of the other versions of himself across all the dimensions. I've just put a link in the chat to a picture of one of Jet Li's alternate identities in this film.
I'm scared to put this on the video, but
just put it on and blur it.
So they flash through all. At some point, they're going through like all of the different victims from different universes of Jet Li who have been killed.
He has dreadlocks. So we'll just say that much.
There's Rasta, Jet Li.
They look unbelievably like. Like how maybe every 6 months a photo of a British celebrity in a Nazi or racist costume will surface, where they went to a party in 2011 where they were dressed up as the Rasta Man or something, and it's it's like Prue Leith or something. It's not Prue Leith, to be clear, for libel reasons. It's not Prue Leith, but it's someone of that sort of type of person. That's what this looks like.
And just for the listeners, again, this is Jet Li, as not Statham with the dreadlocks.
No, not Statham.
No.
God.
Jason Statham is in this movie as one of two cops who are trying to figure out what's going on here and solve this case. There's Jason Statham and I think it's Delroy Lindo, who was in Sinners and everything, and he is trying his absolute hardest to do what I would assume is meant to be a full-bore New York accent.
Oh my god!
And it's incredible. It's and like you can watch the whole movie, and it's like maybe there's a big dial for how American his accent is at any given point, and at points he's going, What are you talking about? and other points where he just sounds British again, and obviously they've done one take, and the director's been like, "Fuck it, just move on, just move on." I think because it was so early in his career, so this is just a couple of movies after Lock, Stock, and Snatch. He had Lock, Stock, and Snatch, and then a movie called Ghosts of Mars, which was a John Carpenter movie about...
I've heard of this.
Yeah. That one was like, it was low down on my list of ones to watch, because I was like, that's not like a big Statham movie.
It's like his worst movie. It's like Carpenter's worst movie or something, right?
I do want to watch it at some point.
It's pretty bad. I talked about it on a fun podcast with some friends about like new metal in movies.
Oh, that's fun.
What's it called? Oh my god.
Bless you.
Complete blank. But yeah, it's pretty rough. I think the main point of that movie was for John Carpenter to reach out to all of the like metal musicians that he liked and get them all to play on the soundtrack. It's got like Buckethead on there and all kinds of people. And then the one is right after that. And I think this was his like one real crack at doing a full-on American accent all the way through the movie. And it is a train wreck. Wow. It's wild and it's out of control. And I assume that's why, for the rest of his career, he's either just having his British accent, or in some cases, he's kind of doing a bit of a pseudo accent, but they often have to address it. He was in a movie called Homeland with James Franco, where James Franco is playing a Deep South-based meth dealer. Called Gator Bodine.
No, come on.
And Statham's meant to be like an undercover DEA agent, and I think he's just doing kind of mild American accent in that.
Okay, British DEA agent is very funny.
Yeah.
But I think what really sets Statham apart in these roles compared to, say, The Rock or Denzel Washington or Liam Neeson or these people that have been doing these roles where they're playing like essentially invincible characters, you know. Apparently part of the issue that The Rock had on a lot of the Fast and Furious movies that he was in, and Hobbs and Shaw and all that sort of shit, is because it's been at least speculated about, if not sort of an open secret, that he contractually had arrangements that like he couldn't lose fights on screen in his movies.
Yeah, I've heard about this. Him and Vin Diesel as well.
Yeah, the trading off who lost or whatever.
Yeah, and so this produced issues on those movies in particular, and I think that has also led directly to why we have now had like Dwayne Johnson being in like A24 movies and being like, actually, I've decided I want to become a serious actor. And I think it's because everybody spent 5 years going, what are you doing? What's this bullshit that you're doing? That's all ridiculous.
But it doesn't seem like, maybe briefly, right, earlier on his career, he was like, maybe I'll have a go at doing some acting. And like occasionally is offered a role where he sort of needs to see if he can do a bit of that. But I did watch an interview with him where he said, I'm not an actor. I don't really do. Yeah, Jason Statham was like, I'm not an actor. I don't really like work on my craft. I'm not particularly good at like doing accents. Is another thing he said. So he seems very self-aware as just like he's just gonna show up and be Jason Statham, and that is his job. And I don't feel like he aspires to anything more than that in terms of like the characters that he's playing.
Not the characters, but the area in which I think he seems to care and try really hard was when he started learning like martial arts and doing stunt martial arts and stuff, because like we said at the start, he was a national diving team member, always been a very fit person, and is obviously like a natural athlete. and genuinely physically gifted, because you were saying, Charlotte, that you watched the first Transporter movie, and the man is doing some wild shit.
He is very impressive to watch in that movie.
I think it's in that first movie. There's a whole fight scene in like a bus depot.
Yes,
where
I kind of did want to talk about this, because it was like, it felt like I saw the movie had two different directors, and I was wondering if maybe one of them was directing like the action scenes and the other one was doing the dramatic scenes, because it felt like that they were two completely different movies a lot of the time. But the scene in the bus depot, he gets like there's a big like thing of oil, and he gets covered in oil, and the floor does as well, and all of the goons that he's fighting are also all oiled up, and he at some point during the fight he has had to take his top off as part of like a move that he's doing to like strangle a guy. So Jason Statham is there just topless, covered in oil,
slipping around. Guys are trying to grab him and he's sliding out of their grasp.
Yep. And then he has like these bike pedals that he breaks, and so he's like standing on top of those. So because like he can walk perfectly on the oil if he's walking on the bike pedals, basically,
and he's pirouetting around and throwing sick roundhouse kicks, and does a lot of very genuinely athletic like stunt martial arts, which
it's fun. It's fun to watch him do his thing, for sure.
And if you are an enjoyer of action movies and like martial arts movies and stunt work and stuff, one of the things that people talk about with those types of movies and with action movies and everything is like the editing style and the framing of the action. In a lot of cases, if you're watching something like a style that sort of emerged with like Paul Greengrass around, like with the Bourne Identity movies, was this very sort of like frenetic, up close, lots of edits and cuts of like people in hand-to-hand combat. And there was a lot of complaints of people just kind of going, I can't tell what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Right.
There's just a lot of shit flashing around. You don't know what's happening,
but you kind of assume it's cool. You know?
Yes.
Yes.
Whereas like the more competent the stunt performers involved actually are, the more often you will see in films things shot from a wide angle, so you can actually see everybody involved and where they are in the frame and what they're physically doing, and like longer unbroken shots as well, because these people have practiced this choreography and can actually go through and do the whole thing. And he seems to be right up there with that sort of stuff. The reason there's two directors on The Transporter is the first one's Louis Leterrier, who's a French director who made Fast X. So there you go. There's a connection there. Unleashed, another Jet Li movie. And the other director is Corey Yuen, who is a very legendary Hong Kong martial arts choreographer and director. So you've got like some full bore like Hong Kong action movie chops in there. And I think what happened was he got into that stuff and he just fell in love with it and went, I'm just going to kind of keep doing movies where I can do that.
And then we get to The Beekeeper.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And then he does that for 20 years until eventually...
Until all there is The Beekeeper.
Yes.
Well, he would occasionally dot in a movie where he was playing like kind of a hard-boiled London cop.
Sure, yeah.
Right.
That wasn't necessarily... Or The Italian Job, that remake of The Italian Job.
Yes.
That everybody seems to like in that one, you know?
Yeah. He's interesting because he is two things. He is... First, to me, the thing I would know about him is guy who talks Cockney and is a hard man, as people would say.
Yes.
Not me. I wouldn't describe a man as hard, but that's what I'm an hard one. He plays those sorts of roles, you know, tough Cockneys. But he is, like you say, secondarily also interested in this, you know, let's say more elevated kind of action thing, because you could just be, for example, Vinnie Jones, who is in Snatch and Lock, Stock, I think. And I don't know what he's done. I remember him being on the telly a lot, but I don't, in ads and stuff. But there's maybe a limit you can reach by being like, listen here, mate.
Yeah, Vinnie Jones would just kind of crop up in things where he had to play an hard man, you know. Yeah. He was in... What was it? Gone in 60 Seconds, that very early 2000s Gone in 60 Seconds, where he played a character called Sphinx because he didn't talk. And it was just, I think maybe at that point of his career, they were like, the look is great.
Yes.
What if we don't worry about the lines? And then they do the classic thing of a character who hasn't spoken for the whole movie, which is at the very end of the movie, they say he suddenly talks and says something very profound, which you can tell he's spent like 6 weeks drilling this like 3 sentences of dialogue. But yeah, the Jason Statham character now has kind of, like we're saying, with a lot of actors who get to this point, I guess in the later going of their careers, where they just kind of go, all right, this is kind of the character now.
Yeah.
And for Jason Statham, at this point, the character is, much like Steven Seagal in his early career, it is someone who's kind of unassuming. They're minding their own business, but they have a past that you don't know about. And they have some skills that you don't know about. And God forbid you mess with one of the people that they have taken on some kind of protective relationship with.
Yes.
And they are forced to then fight approximately 1 million people to get this person back and keep them safe. But the Beekeeper is kind of amazing to me in that it's like they said they wanted to make a movie about like, have either of you seen a movie called Rebel Ridge?
I have not.
No, I've heard of it.
It's very, very fun and very good, and it is specifically about the concept in the US of civil asset forfeiture. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. Yeah.
Where the police are essentially able to just legally steal your money and things that they find on you if they just kind of say, like, apparently it's very common for the police to pull people over on this stretch of highway outside like Vegas.
Yeah.
And they pull people over and they say, I got a funny feeling in my tummy about your car. So let's have a little look through your car. And they might find like $10,000 when the person says, well, I've just been in Las Vegas and I won $10,000. And they say,
sure,
I think it might be from drug dealing.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is take it and leave you a receipt. And if you want to, you can go through a lengthy and very expensive court case to try and get it back. And if you don't want to do that, then it's just our money. And more often than not, like the process of going through that legal process will cost way more money than the money that they've taken from you. They take people's jewelry off them.
Yep.
They just go, oh, you seem to be wearing a lot of expensive jewelry. That's probably from the proceeds of crime. We'll have that. And so Rebel Ridge is a movie about a character who has civil asset forfeiture done to them at the start of the movie by the police. And then they go about trying to get their money back. In this case, there's something magical about the Beekeeper where they've said, what we want to do is we want to make a movie where an old lady character that Jason Statham's character has a fond relationship with, she gets scammed.
He rents part of her barn, if I remember correctly.
I appreciate you putting up with me and my bees.
Yeah.
He says, me and all my bee stuff. Oh.
Me and all my bees, because he's not quite sure how to talk. Truly in that movie, he oscillates within one sentence between trying to do an American accent and trying to do a British accent. It is fucking wild.
I think he does it just as much as he wants to.
Well, of course,
yes.
He was born in the UK. Is what he says. He was born there and then moved to America. So he's got sort of a mix going on.
That's what's the line?
What's the thing the cop says about the?
She says, I detect a hint of the British Isles hiding in your accent. Hiding.
It's not hiding. It's not hiding.
She's a detective, clearly.
Anyway, sorry, you were describing the plot of the beginning of the Beekeeper, which is
standing
mental.
right behind a light post. You know, where you can see 90% of my body.
Where's he gone?
So they want to make a movie about people getting scammed. and everybody's old relatives getting scammed and getting all their money taken. It's a real problem. It's happening to a lot of people. It's very bad. It like actually ruins people's lives, But if we were to like look at how is most of this kind of stuff happening, the overwhelming majority of the scam phone calls that I get come from people with a particular accent. They there's like a lot of sort of maybe like Indian call centers, Bangladeshi call centers, maybe stuff like that. But I think they had the very savvy move of saying, we want to make a movie about this, but we don't want to make a racist movie.
Yeah.
We don't want to make a movie where Jason Statham goes around beating Indian call center workers to death.
Yeah. So what if instead they were a bunch of like annoying Mark Zuckerberg-y millennials?
They were all yuppies. Yes. And they were all... Because, again, I think the reality of things like, people running those sorts of scams, email scams, like all the sort of stuff you would see on Twitter that's like people who aren't American doing content where they're trying to like game engagement about it's like when they turned on that feature in Twitter where you can see where somebody's account is from. And it's like the overwhelming majority of the accounts that are like working 24 hours a day to game engagement about American politics largely from like Nigeria and India. And another podcast, an Australian podcast called Down Round, which I like, was talking about this, and they were saying, well, yeah, the funny thing is like, scale-wise in economies, it's the amount of effort it takes to generate money out of doing that is not really worthwhile for a lot of people in like first world countries. But if you're able to just kind of sit at a computer and do this stuff and they send you $200 a month for something, and maybe it's more than you would get from like a manual labor job and that sort of thing, it's entirely worthwhile to do, right?
Right.
And so I completely understand why people do it. All the stuff that is downstream from colonialism and all of the economic issues that we have. So, I'm not blaming anybody for doing any of these things. Do I want to see a movie where Jason Statham goes and beats a bunch of these people to death? No, you don't want to see that. Instead, I want to see him do it to rich white people who are really happy about it.
Who seem to really love scamming old people because of how much money they can make from doing it.
They feel so strongly about how great it is and what they're doing. One of the guys looks like a little fucking Ben Shapiro twat. It's great, but...
Every character they run into is also so like unapologetically gleeful about stealing money from people.
Yeah. It's completely insane. I do want to spoil just the first it must be the first 7 minutes of the movie or something where the old lady that he loves gets scammed, and then her response to this. Sorry, it's really fucking insane.
It is insane because I thought for a considerable part of the film that someone had shot her. And there was a bad guy that Jason Statham was going to go and find, because she does get scammed out of like $2 million which is in a charity account that she manages.
Yeah, she's like managing, someone else's funds for a thing. Yeah.
And you would think that when her daughter walked into the room, she might be slightly like sadder about finding out that her mum has committed suicide.
Yes.
But
so
she's
like,
she barely has any emotional reaction to it through the whole film.
Yeah. It's a completely insane movie. I don't recommend watching it by yourself, but I do recommend putting it on if you've got a group of friends over and you want to put on something that sucks, because
it's a real hooting and hollering movie.
We were hooting and hollering. We've been saying that protect the hive to each other a lot.
Libby, I think, look, we were saying we knew we were going to do a Finest episode where we would just talk in depth about a Jason Statham movie, and we were like, maybe we should do Snatch. I think we just have to do The Beekeeper.
I agree. I completely
agree.
There
is so much shit that we can get into with that thing, because it is insane. One thing I did want to point out as I was watching it is like some of the stuff that Jason Statham does in that reminded me a lot of Hitman and the Hitman video games.
That's what Brendan said.
Yep.
And
he's just doing environmental kills on everybody.
Environmental kills. He's like wearing costumes to blend in. Sometimes he's standing just like, he's doing his little outfit changes and stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I did find out that he apparently did turn down the role of Hitman. To be, yeah. I don't know why, because I think he would have been...
Seems obvious, doesn't
sort
it?
of completely perfect for that.
Yes. And I think it's perfectly legitimate, by the way, for us to do Beekeeper as an episode, because tons of British people in that movie. I think all of them are attempting to do American accents to some degree.
I believe it's a US, UK co-production. Yeah,
Jason Fleming doing a thick Russian accent as well.
Yes, of course, yes.
The president of the United States, I recognized her from Doctor Who. There's a lot of British people in that thing.
Yeah, the CIA guy also from Doctor Who. Jeremy Irons doing an absolutely fucking ridiculous performance that I love. So yeah, we got to talk about that. But
his accent,
so that will be on
accent
Thursday.
in that as well. Jeremy Irons
is so funny. Yeah, it again. You sort of think,
what are you talking about?
What are you talking? But then when he gets pissed off, he can't maintain it, because the only way for Jeremy Irons to be pissed off is to be a sort of like, what are you talking about? So
Mini Driver's in there.
Yep. And there are so many shots that are just so fucking obviously in the UK, even though it's meant to be like Maryland or whatever. It's so really, it's really, really good.
We will get into that. Check it out. The finest episode on Thursday. We will go full into depth on the Beekeeper, because clearly me and Libby have a lot of stuff we need to work through.
It's so fun, and there's something that I really appreciate about that idea of just saying like there's a real fast food sort of element to what I'm saying. Like we're just being so over the top in making everybody in the film so incredibly villainous and deliberately and like gleefully villainous about everything that they're doing. Everybody's basically just saying like, I should be killed. I should be wiped off the face of the earth, you know?
Yeah.
But I do think that there's maybe a bit of an element of, who am I thinking of? Like, I think he is one of those actors like Adam Sandler who likes to just get his friends jobs in things.
Yeah.
I think he's one of those people where if you look across his filmography, there's been like a lot of continued relationships. Like he's still doing like late period Guy Ritchie movies.
Yeah.
Wrath of Man was a Guy Ritchie joint. Operation Fortune, some silly heist movie with Aubrey Plaza and Josh Hartnett.
Yeah, he's showing up for his boy. You know?
Yeah.
Guy Ritchie got him his start, and he's always going to show up in those movies, which is nice.
Right. Yeah, and like Jason Fleming from Lock, Stock is in and he's in Snatch as well, isn't he? He's one of the pikeys.
Yes, that's right.
In the caravan and everything. But yeah, he continues to pop up. I feel like I don't see Jason Fleming in anything ever except for Jason Statham movies.
Right.
I feel like Statham gets a movie and he goes, what do you got for my
Jason?
mate Jason?
Yeah, I just want to hang out with my friend while I'm doing this and get my friends some work as well.
Where can we get Jason in here? You know?
Yeah, the two Jasons. Yeah.
We need to rank Jason Statham, Libby.
All right, let's put it back up. Let's go.
All right,
back
we
up.
are ranking Jason Statham on our British supermarket themed tier list, with S as Waitrose tier, A as Marks and Spencer, B as Sainsbury's, C as Tesco, D as Morrison's, E as Asda, and F is Iceland. Libby, we'll start with you. Where are you putting Jason Statham?
This is difficult because obviously his sort of oeuvre is generally not for me. I love watching, I like watching a stupid action movie with my friends sometimes, or just with Lewis. But I don't think he's never going to be my guy. But he doesn't appear loathsome in any way. So I'm going to say Tesco, just straight down the middle. Jason Statham.
That's nice. That's respectable. I think I need to put him in Sainsbury's personally.
Ooh.
I think I have grown to like Jason Statham. I think despite the fact that he has no range whatsoever, he's maybe the most rangeless actor who is also successful, you know.
Which is fine. They don't all need to have
I
range.
think that is good. I don't think that that's a problem. I don't think all actors need to have range.
Yeah.
Have either of you ever seen Spy?
No.
Yes, I have seen Spy.
He's very funny in Spy.
He's basically playing a parody of himself in Spy, and he
That's
is very
great.
good in that role because they just said, "Do your thing like normal," and he did, and it worked. You know,
Do your thing like normal, but while saying completely insane jokes.
Exactly. Yes. And I like Jason Statham's like normal thing. I found The Beekeeper fascinating and also just complete dog shit. It is one of those like bad movies I couldn't sort of find a way to like ultimately. But then with the Transporter, I kind of want to watch at least the second one because maybe the second one is better because that one was like, it was of the era of like The Matrix had been really popular and it seemed like people were trying to ape that like a little bit and sort of jump off of that. And that one knew it was stupid and it was fun, and I appreciated it a little bit more for that, you know?
Yeah.
I like him. So East Sainsbury for me. Andrew, where are you putting him?
I think, he's up there for me. I think like the Transporter was from an era of movies. There was a production company called EuropaCorp. That was Luc Besson's production company.
Yes.
Luc Besson of The Fifth Element. And
I also heard that they wanted his character to be gay, and then when they cast Jason Statham, he was like, no thanks, nothing. I'm good. But there is a brief moment where he does kiss a guy underwater to suck air out of his lungs.
That's true.
That's nice.
Steals his life force. And all of those movies were like filmed in Europe, and each one of them was basically just like an idea that Luc Besson scribbled on a napkin in a bar and then gave to somebody else to make a movie out of. And you really get that sense watching something like The Transporter of like someone had an idea, singular, and then we just sort of sketched out a script and banged it out, you know? I think the more I think about Statham in the entirety of his career and sort of where he sits at the moment, and particularly if you stack that up against like other people occupying similar spaces in the film industry, I think there's plenty to be admired from that sense of just kind of like knowing what your bread and butter is, you know, and just being happy doing that, not having sort of like illusions of grandeur about the whole thing.
He doesn't seem to have a huge ego about the whole thing, honestly, which I really like.
I just realized his Wario is Vin Diesel.
Yeah. Apparently they don't get on.
Vin Diesel seems like a total psycho.
Yes,
and a
complete
twat.
psycho, takes himself and everything he does incredibly seriously. All of Vin Diesel's Instagram posts where he's like, now followers of Vin Diesel, you must demand that Universal Studios do the following. Just insane stuff. I threw on, I don't know why, but the other night I threw on XXX, The Return of Xander Cage. Which is the second sequel to XXX.
Oh my god!
Wow.
And it's fucking insane because it's jumping off the screen and screaming at you how involved Vin Diesel was in making sure that people in the other characters in the movie are constantly looking at him and going, "Wow." You are really sick. Like a woman walks into the room and looks at him and goes, wow, tickets to the gun show.
No.
And women keep looking at his arms and
Good
going,
Lord.
wow. And there's just so many bits where women are like, I think I'd be interested in fucking you, Mr. X, sir. And he's doing all this like flirty smiling stuff that is not landing at all because he is Vin Diesel.
Yeah, he's not got the riz.
Whereas Statham, I think, like looking across the sort of totality of his career, I think, like person who has actually put in the work as far as making action movies goes. They're not cutting around him. He's doing real stunts. He's doing real martial arts. He's doing cool shit. He seems to like, you know, be pretty loyal to the other people that he's worked with, either continuing to appear in their movies or bringing his friends into movies that he's done. He'll work with someone and then do like 2 or 3 movies with him in a row, you know. And even in these late period movies, to contrast him with, say, Sylvester Stallone, who he has also done work with. Sylvester Stallone wrote the script for Homeland with James Franco in it. So he's done work with him. So Stallone's last Rambo movie Rambo Last Blood, I believe it's called.
Okay.
Hey, makes sense.
Sounds about right.
So in it,
I'm all out of blood.
In it, bloodless. In that movie, he lives with on his ranch. He lives with a Mexican woman who is kind of his housekeeper or whatever, and her daughter, who is sort of an unofficial uncle type figure too. She goes to Mexico, gets kidnapped and human trafficked instantly by cartels.
Yep.
And Stallone spends the movie just massacring disgusting Mexicans. and they follow him back over the border to Montana, and then he just he's shredding Mexicans. He's like, you disgusting criminal dogs,
Yeah.
And you get this palpable xenophobic right wing sense to it,
Yeah.
Whereas, like I said, Statham with the Beekeeper, it's all very
he's killing tech bros. So you're
here's this fictional version of this.
Yeah.
The following movie is a working man, same director, young Latina woman gets kidnapped in order to be sex trafficked. But it's just, again, there's sort of some Russians involved. There's some random kind of meth head white people involved. But again, it's just, you just get this sense of let's just have some bad guys in the movie. Let's not get which country do you hate and which people do you want to kill about this. And especially in the current climate of movie making in America,
indeed,
you would think that maybe there was a little pressure to start putting ethnicities back in movies as the bad guy.
Right.
We had big stretches where action movies had, this is America's enemy of the week.
Yes.
Or who were in a current conflict that they would be massacring in their movies. Then there was a big stretch where it was terrorists. International terrorist cartels where they just kind of have, or gangs that have every ethnicity in them, where it's all kind of a bit chill.
Yeah.
And I would think maybe culturally over there might be maybe a little more pressure to go back to that Stallone style.
Don't know what you mean.
Here's the ethnicity we want to murder.
Yeah.
But instead, Statham's just keeping
They'll be making
nice.
those. We'll be seeing those in a couple of years, I'm sure. They're working on them now, undoubtedly.
Right.
Yeah,
I think so, but I don't know if Jason will be in them.
Yeah,
I don't think he will be. I think he's a solid bloke at the end of the day.
I think he will. Yeah, I think he seems like he's genuinely kind of got a bit of a sense of humor about himself.
Yes,
loyal, hardworking, been married to the one very beautiful model lady for many years.
Oh,
he did do that.
That's
Rosie
nice.
Huntington Whiteley. She was in Mad Max Fury Road, wasn't she?
Oh.
She was one of the.
Yeah.
Was she one of the ladies?
I had a story. I don't know if it's true. I'm going to say it anyway because it's funny to me because she was also in a Transformers movie, and I heard that he would show up on set and watch her and Shia LaBeouf act together and sort of stare them down, which I fully support.
I'll fucking have you.
Yeah. Andrew, did you say a supermarket?
I'm saying Marks and Spencer.
You're saying
my
Marks
personal tastes.
Okay,
for my personal tastes, unlike you, Libby, these are all for me specifically.
Perfect. I love that, and
That's nice.
and that's why you're here.
Yes,
and that's why we did this. Thank you so much. Let's play my little game.
Libby's game.
Let's play my little game. This game is called Statham Statements. What I have done is I've taken some Jason Statham quotes from movies and I have changed a word. I'd like you to tell me which word I changed and what you think the real word is. Sound good?
It sounds great.
Yes.
First one. He's going to pull my pants down, grease me up, and aim for me bum. What do you think I changed and what do you think the real word was?
Well, I hope it's not bum because I want to see this movie where he's having some nice bum sex,
What
I think you think it was a bit of a laugh.
Yeah.
But I ultimately think bum is the fake one.
Okay.
Maybe head. Aim for me head. I mean, I don't know. It's a bit simple,
head.
but
Andrew, do you have an alternative pitch from head?
It's It's really hard because like pants and bum are so like dependent on each other, aren't they? You know, you take one out and suddenly the other one doesn't make any sense being there.
Well,
You're
yeah,
right. You are right.
This could be a little trick question from me as well.
Oh, what about pull me trousers down instead?
Oh,
could be that. That's my new guess.
Could be she's.
Oh,
could be she's.
Andrew
think about that.
Out-woked us. No, this is. He's going to pull my pants down, grease me up, and aim for penetration.
So it was bum.
It was essentially bum. But
yes.
I actually think penetration is worse to say.
I think yes. No, it is worse.
Yeah, than saying me bum.
Aiming for your bum, that could be a glancing blow.
Yeah, it could be a spank.
That could just come off.
Yeah. Next one. No, I asked you to give me a refreshing drink. I wasn't expecting a fucking rainforest. You could fall in love with a quirked up NB in that.
Does quirked up NB count as one word?
Yes. Yes, for this game, yes.
I cannot imagine Statham saying NB.
I'm not sure they had NB as a word.
This is, if I'm not mistaken, this is from Lockstock, right?
Yes.
Well done. Which I haven't actually seen yet, but I do remember because I watched so many videos about him. I saw a clip of that where he's got the big rainforest drink. You can fall in love with a quirked up NB in that.
I just really wanted to write that.
Mermaid?
Do either of you remember what the actual line is? Because I think this is a good one. I think this is maybe my favorite line in the whole film.
Oh. No, again, I just want him to be gay, so I'm just going to say fall in love with a handsome man.
A handsome man?
A handsome man.
No, it's not. It's you could fall in love with an orangutan.
An orangutan, yeah. All right.
And I've got the picture of the drink.
Yeah, I do remember that.
It is funny.
It's so green.
It's a very green drink. It's got a huge top of a pineapple in it.
It looks like it's got a whole pineapple in there.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
It's a funny scene. They're at a quote unquote Samoan pub, which is it's a great bit. All right, next one. If you don't tell me what I need to know, I'm going to press down on this chair until it crushes your bollocks. Trust me, it's agonizing. Plus, there's the posthumous humiliation of having been killed with a chair.
Ooh, I can't find the fake in here.
Ooh,
Andrew?
Interesting.
I think Libby's done a wonderful job at this game,
like
don't
Libby's
you, Andrew?
Not so stupid after all.
If you could play along with this as well, Andrew, that would be great. We need to, especially near the end of the episodes, we really need to boost our confidence going into the next week.
Like Libby, good.
Sort of feel like Libby's won this game in a way.
I'm going to guess chair, but I don't know what else it's replaced with.
Yeah, I don't know. Press this chair until it crushes your bollocks. I mean, it does feel like it's got to be the leg of a chair in order to work. Right? I don't think he would say posthumous. You know?
Actually, I'm changing my answer. I think it's bollocks because having your bollocks crushed is not fatal.
Oh, right. Interesting.
I mean, sometimes he is just maiming people and then leaving them, though. At least,
but posthumous, having been killed.
Fuck, what movie is this from? Fuck.
I didn't write down which films these were from either, so that was my bad.
I don't know. It's a bloody humiliation. It just doesn't feel like that's the word he's going to say, but maybe it's the character.
It is, in fact, bollocks. It was until it crushes your trachea. So I assume, I was getting these from the IMDb quotes pages, but I assume that he's got a chair resting on someone's neck at that point.
I mean, that's pretty scary and cool.
Yes. All right, next one. By the power vested in me, I now pronounce you man and gun.
This one's real.
I didn't change anything. Yeah.
No. This is. I love the wedding shooter. God. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, the boring thing is to say it's God and it's man and woman, but I mean that's not. It's not very fun, is it?
I wonder if you could guess what the real line is if you think about it for a little bit lateral thinking.
I think it's man, and it's I now pronounce you gun and gun.
He's just holding his guns together, kissing like they're Barbies.
That's all he's got to play
picture
with.
of him.
Little
He should-
Statham.
Yeah,
He
really
should
nice.
smile in his movies more. He doesn't
I
smile
know,
in
it's
his
a nice
movies.
picture, isn't it?
Yeah.
He looks lovely.
All of his
Nice
smiles
smile.
are begrudging.
Mm-hmm,
Yes,
mm-hmm.
absolutely. Or they're sort of baring your teeth like an angry chimp.
I think it's gun and gun.
All
I
right,
think Andrew
gun and gun. No, it is man and knife.
It's man and knife.
I know,
Fuck
pronouncing
yeah.
man and knife. That was from one of the really bad ones. I don't remember.
All right.
There's a clip of it somewhere. All right, next one. I think I'll take Tubi.
I
Did
know
that in
this
American
one.
accent because this one is
Wow.
from the Beekeeper. So
I detected a hint of the British Isles in there as well, Libby. It is Tubi because obviously he would take Quibi. 'Cause that's what he knows and loves, and
loves
that's where he
Quibi.
can watch some wonderful
content.
Wonderful content. That's
Vertically,
right.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or
And I guess
horizontally. You could. It works both ways.
Right, that's right, and that I'm sure made it really easy to film and everything.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those wonderful scenes in a movie where they need to set up this line, and he's been cornered by people who are very, very set on killing him, and they decide to point a gun at him and just kind of have a chat for a couple of minutes beforehand. Now that I have you where I want you, what do you think of that, you stupid dickhead? Like, there's a fair bit of that going on. Really, just got to bang, done, bang.
Yes.
It's so bang. Takes just a second, bang. The
It
beekeeper's
is the
dead.
Austin
I
Powers
sorted it
thing,
out.
Yeah.
Where they have that actor doing some really thick South African accent
Yes. Oh
work
my
there.
god, that guy.
Yes.
That guy was crazy. It is. I think I'll take to be.
Does he really say that in the movie?
To be is to be or not to be, and one of them says,
fuck. I think I'll take to be because
"I think I'll take to be because I'm
he's
the
beekeeper.
Keeper.
He's the beekeeper.
He's the beekeeper.
That's right.
Hey, protect the hive. All right.
Protect the hive. He's the
It's a
Queenslayer.
British actor doing that South African accent too.
It is. Oh, I just assumed you were South African. That's so funny.
Yeah.
All right.
By a guy
Next one.
born in Sevenoaks.
That's so funny. He's crazy looking. Okay. Sometimes when the hive's out of balance, you have to replace the cabin air filters in your Toyota Corolla. I'm not sure why, but it's something the dealership tells you to do.
Ooh, the hive's out of balance. I feel like you've changed more than one word, Miss Libby.
It's
I feel like you
everything
might have-
after balance.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, sorry.
Do you
it's
have a
not
Toyota
that.
Corolla, Libby?
Yeah, I do. And when we took it to the dealership last, they told us to replace the cabin air filters. Can someone write in and tell me if that's something that actually matters to do? Because I don't know, and I don't have a dad to ask. Thank you.
All right. You have to. So sometimes when the hive's out of balance, you have to replace the queen.
Charlotte, you fucking got it. It is.
Yep.
There we go.
And
I got
sometimes
one.
the queen is the president, you know?
And sometimes the Queen is the President of the United States, and she. Oh, also, no. You know what? I'm not going to spoil it because we're going to do it for the.
Save it for the finest.
Save it for the finest. All right. Next time, I'll inflate all your balls, friend. Oh God, I hope no one inflates my balls. Oh, they're big and huge and heavy.
I'm going to pay you $3,000 to read all of these out with the Jason Statham
With the filter on.
filter on, just because I want that for my own personal collection. Okay, next time I'll inflate all your balls, friend. Oh,
This is from The Expendables.
oh yeah, what is it?
Next time I'll
Yes, it is.
deflate both your balls. He's knocked a guy down who's
You got
playing a game of pickup basketball.
Yes.
Puts the basketball on his chest and then stabs it with a knife, not killing the man. And he
Yes.
says, next
And there you go.
time I'll deflate all your balls if you ever strike my beautiful charisma carpenter again.
He does love doing balls stuff, I will say.
Yes.
There's a
Who
lot of
among
balls
us?
stuff in Statham movies. Well, that was great. You both did really well, and I didn't keep track of points or really do anything resembling a game. So
That's
well
fine.
done.
It was fun.
It was fun.
Again, you won, so because you
statements.
were so creative
I
with your
win.
game. You win, Libby. You win.
Statements?
Statements. Oh, I was
Statements.
right there.
That's all right. Andrew, thank you so much for coming on the show today. This has been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
What would you like to tell our audience about what you do, where they should go to find you?
First, I want to tell them about Jason Statham movies. Settle in for another hour of... I am on a podcast called Boonta Vista. We are fast approaching 10 years of Boonta Vista. That's kind of fucked up when you think about it.
That's so old.
I know.
We're such a young podcast. We're not even a year old yet.
We're not even a year.
Not even a year. But yes, we've been doing it for a long time. We talk about some silly news stories of the week and get distracted by other things. We have many segments like Scam Watch, where we talk about people getting scammed, just like that old lady in The Beekeeper.
Yes.
Lots of fun. It's good. Please come along and listen. And that's kind of it, honestly.
It's great. It's a great podcast.
The rest of the time, I'm just living my life.
Oh, that's
nice.
so nice to hear. It's a great podcast. If you want a good place to start with the episodes that I was on, because you already listened to this podcast. You know you like me, so go listen to those episodes. So much fun. Had such a good time on those. It's well worth checking out.
Do it, dearest listeners. Do it right now. But of course, not until after you have also subscribed to our Patreon, patreon.com/what's all this then. If you'd like to hear that finest episode where me and Libby will go into depth on our favorite and least favorite Jason Statham movie, The Beekeeper. Also, because I'm realizing we didn't talk about Jason Statham's Kit Kat ads, so we could talk about that a little bit on the finest too. Let's do that. If you want to get in touch with us, our email is whatsallthispost@gmail.com, and if you want to follow us on social media, it's What's All This Pod on Blue Sky and Instagram. That's the episode. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
What's all this then? What's all this then? What's Mr. B?